Hi everyone, I am Stella. This is Loveworks, and welcome to this All Signs Tarot reading. We are going to look at a message for you for now till the end of the year. So we're going to use a lot of oracle cards in this reading. We will use some tarot as prompted. All right, let's go ahead and get started. What do we have for Aries? What is their message now till the end of the year, please? Aries. Aries. Okay. Oh, all right. Let's see what we have. Well, you have some really nice cards that fell out over here, so we'll look at those and let's see what we have here. These came out face up on the board, and then this was like covering them. So that's the way I'm seeing it. So I look at this as like this is your like hidden message, like something that needs to come out for you. So let's see what the obvious stuff is. Okay, so we have conflict, victim mentality, and back and forth showing up here. So I use different, well, that's funny. I use different oracle cards, but you got three from the same grouping here. So we have this conflict card coming out first, victim mentality, and back and forth. And he's like on a seesaw, right? So, I mean, in a desert. So the metaphors there are pretty apparent. And desert, obviously, meaning like nothing's like growing. Nothing grows in the desert, really, right? So this could be a masculine in particular that has this victim mentality and that you're very back and forth with. So it could be a matter of romantic love for you, or it could just be like the masculine energy of your Aries fire energy coming out, where it's like it's not being satisfied, it's stuck, it's there could be even some like victim mentality to that of like that could be a main problem for your conflict of why you may be stuck like on a seesaw. So we have this card here, which was like over the top, and then you got some great cards showing up here, and we'll talk about those in a moment. But this card says, take a divinely guided chance. And it says, this is my favorite, all-time favorite oracle card, by the way. My all-time favorite out of this huge stack, and then all the other oracle cards that I have. This is my all-time favorite one. All positive change and successful ventures involve a degree of risk, and you are ready to follow your divine guidance to new territories. As you leave behind that which is comfortable and familiar, but no longer appropriate for you, you make room for new and more meaningful opportunities, right? I'm going to hold that up so you can snapshot that, trim around my fingers, keep that on your phone. It's a really good message. Let me get it up nice and close. Okay. All right. Then you have over here, milk and honey fell out with increase. All right. So milk and honey card is absolutely like it sounds. It's like the land of milk and honey, right? And you have the increase card as well. And this is more of a predictive card because it says cycle at the top. So in this particular deck, they have like little words at the top for different things, and you have cycle. So you guys are on this cycle of increase. You are close to the milk and honey, the sweet stuff of life, but it has a lot to do with this energy, all right? Not that desert back and forth victim mentality, or if there's someone in a romantic relationship that's holding you up or hanging you up based on their own victim mentality, back and forth energy. It's like, well, it's time to, that might be comfortable and familiar, but it's no longer appropriate for you. Time, like the card says, time to move forward towards new things. Okay. All right. So that is Aries. Yeah, I'm going to leave that. I don't think we need tarot cards for anything. That was good. Okay. Let's go to Taurus. Okay. Taurus, now till the end of the year, please. Taurus, what is the message for, oh, the loving man came out, Taurus. Okay, what is the message for Taurus now till the end of the year? Taurus, now till the end of the year, what is their message? Okay. All right. You also have travel at the bottom of the deck. So there may be travel. You have the loving man that came out. Beautiful. All right. Let's see what these are. Oh my God, you got all of the same brand of tarot cards. That's like crazy because I mean I use like a lot of different ones in here, and you got like a whole stack of the same kind. That's interesting. Okay, so let me take a look at what you got here. Okay, all right. I feel like there's someone to take a closer look at in your life. Are they truly a loving man? All right. That's because I feel like the message here for you, Taurus, is that you do deserve like a very loving person, all right, in your life. But a lot of that has to do with where we're gauging our self-worth, our self-value, that sort of thing. And I get the sense here, just from looking at these cards and kind of glancing at what's around the deck and stuff like that, that there's something here that is extremely important to look at, like now till the end of the year, and that you may be holding out expectations for someone to turn into this or to be that, but I'm getting that they may not be the right situation for you because you have this like rigid focus and then conclusion here. All right. Rigid focus. Is that? Yeah. Okay. Focus and then conclusion. And then you have letting go and self new word. All right. Self-worth showing up here. So letting go and then like, you know, getting into that self-worth here. So I feel like with the rigid and the focus and the conclusion that there's like something that needs to like a chapter, right? That needs to close and a new chapter to begin for you in your life. There may be something where like there's a rigidity to sticking with this or through it or, you know, hoping to get somewhere on the other side. Maybe you're putting a lot of focus into this particular situation or something along those lines if it's romance. And it's like, you know, it's like we have the end and then we have chapter 1 on this card. So I do feel like this is, and with this letting go, that it's time to write a new chapter for yourself and explore your self-worth here and explore if there is someone or something to be letting go of at this time. Usually there is. I mean, almost all of us, I would imagine, have something in our lives or someone, you know, in our lives that we are in the process of letting go of or just starting to discover that we need to let go of, you know, things of that nature. That's common. But for you, it's like really showing up here. So I do feel like it's your most important message at this time. To, you know, maybe, you know, travel might be something that is a possibility for you. I would not travel to go see someone, though, who doesn't treat you well. All right, because you have the hostilities card underneath here with this hidden motivations kind of energy. So it's like, and right after that is the door to personal healing and happiness. So personal healing and happiness, self-worth. Those are your themes. I feel like there's two people here. Like there's someone here that has like this sort of hostile energy, whether they're showing it or not. Could be covert. It could be very obvious. And then there's like this kind of feminine energy here that isn't being super honest with their true motivation of like this relationship, like honest with themselves or honest with them. Something like, not like, oh, you're lying. Not like that, but it's more like when we have hidden motivations, like, well, you know, like we pretend we're letting go, but we're really not. And we're really hoping that things work out, right? Like that kind of hidden motivation. So I don't know. I would avoid those types of situations for sure. So I feel like your message is more just about like letting go of things that like chapters that do need to close, like in the picture here, and start like reevaluating your self-worth and what your new chapter could be moving forward into your new year. Okay. All right. So that is Taurus. We are on to Gemini. Okay, Geminis, please. What is the message for Geminis now till the end of the year? Okay, let's see what we got. Oh my God. Yeah, perfect. Wow. Gemini. You have love and you have fulfillment. Those are the two cards that came out of all of those cards, and you saw how many times I went through them shuffling. Usually the cards just start falling out, or, something happens by the time I, turn it around 3-4 times, right? So these are the two that came out. You have love and fulfillment. Beautiful. All right. So let's see, is there anything, do I want to do tarot? No, let's see. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Kindred partnership with decision. Okay. Let's see. What does Gemini need to focus on the most now till the end of the year? Geminis, please. Loss. Interesting. And a choice, but still having optimism. So through any type of losses, like from now till the end of the year, because you have very good energy, like around this reading. So this is not like failure type loss or something like that. So any type of loss, it's like, I feel like it's saying like, well, then the choice is to still remain optimistic versus any type of loss or anything like that. It's like, then you always have a choice though to move forward, get back on that horse, right, with optimism. So like if you've gone through a breakup recently, or you're deciding whether or not you should leave a situation, you may be indecisive at this time. I feel like there is a kindred partnership like waiting for you here, right? Absolutely. But it's like going to take the courage to move towards that, like to make that choice with optimism. So not to look at things like, well, what will I lose? It's more like, what can I possibly, what can I gain with things? Independence. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. I love that. And inspiration is here underneath the deck as well. Inspiration, right? So you have independence right when I said, what can you gain? Okay, so I feel like some of you may be making like a tough choice now till the end of the year about like, I don't know, possibly not feeling super fulfilled in a current relationship, or if you're like single, like just, and you've not really been wanting to date or feeling like you're ready to date or something like that. I feel like it's like, yeah, there was a hard hit here, a loss of a relationship or something else possibly, but that could have hit you hard. But it's like the choice is to move towards this optimism, and that is what's going to help you toward your independence, which is going to bring this love and fulfillment. Remember, this is messages from now till the end of the year, and these are your cards that came out. All right. So I feel it's asking you also, universe, like if you're single, I feel like for many of you, this is about like making the choice to leave something to go toward the possibility of independence and a new relationship. Okay. But for those of you who are like single or something along those lines, I feel like it's more of just a message of reevaluating like what love and fulfillment could mean for you, and to have the courage to make decisions towards optimism towards that. Okay. All right. So let's go to Cancer. So we are looking for messages for now till the end of the year for Cancer. What do they need to know? What are the messages for them now till the end of the year? Okay. That one we're going to look at separately because it was like stuck and wanting to come out. I always look at that as like kind of literal, like something stuck within you that wants to come out but isn't quite coming out. So we'll look at that in a moment. Let's see what else for Cancer. Messages for Cancers, please. There we go. It's interesting. I'm going to look at it now, and then we're going to continue, because the one card that did come out is Fork in the Road, and I'm noticing like the cards aren't like spilling out and like they typically do. So I have a sense of like with Fork in the Road, there is like some stuckness here, like what direction should I go? Should I go this way, that way? So let's look and see what this card is before we go on. The Warrior. Interesting. Okay, so we have this kind of masculine energy here. All right, Fork in the Road. Maybe there's like a masculine that is just constantly in like fight or flight mode, but like mostly fight mode, or well, either or actually, or flight. Okay, so let's get a little bit more. All right, now that we have that, all right, what do we have for Cancer? What is the message for them now till the end of the year? Oh, what falls to the floor comes to the door. Let's see what that is in a moment. Something fell to the floor. All right, in that way. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense at the bottom, because the cards really felt like stiff or like not forthcoming in a way. And at the bottom of the deck, you have action. So I feel like there's like this, like the whole thing is a metaphor for being like at this fork in the road, this stuckness or something along those lines. Okay, so let's see what fell to the floor. Okay, oh, 2 cards. Aw, all right. Oh, I like this card. Playful. And how cute is that card? The little kitty cat. All right, playful and gratitude list. Okay, which says counting your blessings and feeling gratitude for what you already have helps you to be centered in your heart instead of fixated on worries in your mind. What and who are you grateful for right now? Keep focusing upon gratitude and you'll discover the amazing generosity of this universe. And then it came out with playful. All right, and you do have action at the bottom of the deck as well. So I feel like more of that in your life is like if you feel like you're just kind of at this fork in the road, like, ugh, I don't know which direction to go, you know, sort of thing. And, you know, the thing is, this doesn't have to be a person. What could be stuck within you is like that warrior spirit. You know, it's like it wants to come out, but it's stuck, you know, like that to be a warrior and put things behind you that have held you back and go forth, you know, be playful, you know, those types of things. Let's see what else we have. The temple path, beautiful. And individuality. What does it say? Oh, Zoe. Okay. It says Zoe on here. I don't know why in parentheses. I don't have the book to this deck, so I have no idea what that, I don't even know the name of the deck, so I don't know exactly what that's about. But, you know, who knows, maybe some of you happen to be named that, or, you know, so I'll show it. But the temple path and individuality, interesting. So, yeah, I feel like it's sort of one of those, like, life changes, energies that you guys are in at this time, but it's more about like your inner soul life rather than, I mean, you might have other things going on like, well, should I move here? Should I do this? Should I stay with this person? Should I do that? Should I quit this job, go to that job? You know, you may have those things going on like in, you know, your outer circumstances, but I do feel like most of you, like from the inside, like there's this warrior spirit that needs to come out, express its individuality. The temple path oftentimes, you know, means more, you know, like you know, like the body is your temple, or, you know, something like along those lines, where it's more inner spirit that needs to be focused on at this time. But also you do have these cards, you know, of becoming more playful, showing more gratitude towards, well, not like you're not showing gratitude, but, you know, showing, you know, lots of gratitude towards what you already have. And sometimes that can be a difficult energy to get into. Like if you feel like, you know, not much, you don't have too much going on, right? It's very difficult at times, especially, you know, if life is like kind of bombarding you and one thing after the other and stuff like that. It's very, I've been there, and it's very difficult, you know, to find things to be grateful for. But there's always, you know, always something always something there to remind me, right? Well, there you go. There is always something there to remind you. So yeah, I feel like yours is more of, and that makes sense because Cancer's your, you know, now till the end of the year would be more like your, because like Capricorn energy, right, which is what we're kind of, will be building up to towards the end of the year, is like your polar opposite. So it's like the sun isn't bright, you know, in your energy at that time, right? Because it's the polar opposite. So usually those time periods are times to do deep reflection, do plant seeds, you know, so that they can grow, you know, when your solar time, you know, as you get closer to your solar time of your birthday, it's a good time to plant seeds and things like that, but also a good time to kind of not go dark necessarily or go in the cave, but inwardly, you know, go. And when I say the dark, I don't mean darkness like depression. I mean like in the dark, you know, like kind of being by yourself. So I do think this is a great time for you guys to reflect on things, not overly think about directions and stuff right now, and really focus on your individual temple path. Like what is your individual spiritual soul wanting to express, rather than what everything else is telling you to express, right? Like tarot cards or religions or people's points of views or something like that. Like find your own individual temple path so that you can express yourself better. And then, yeah, you have this action here. So I feel like then it's time to take action. Some of you may be trying to bulldoze through something right now, and it's suggesting like not to do that right now. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Cancers. We are on to Leo. Oh, nope, we want to put those, we already used those. Yeah, so we'll put those over there. Okay. Oh, and that one too. Okay. Okay, Leos, now till the end of the year, please. What do we have for Leos? What is their special message now till the end of the year? Almost came out, not quite. Okay, Leos. Community is at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Yeah, getting out more is really what I'm seeing here as being a strong message for you, because you have this darkness and all tied up here that came out together. I use different oracle cards, right? And they oddly seem to always work together very well. So these two fell out in one pile together, all tied up. And then we have the oracle card here of darkness. Okay, so it's like the all tied up card. I don't know if you could see that or not. She's kind of like bound in like a vine or something like that, right? No, Leos, not that kind. Okay. But it's like she has this very demure look on her face. You know, she's sort of like, oh no. You know, it's sort of like she's like the maiden, you know, in need of rescue or something like that. Well, hell no. You know, no Leo is, you know, this like helpless maiden that, oh my gosh, and batting the eyelashes, please help me, you know. So it's like, but it's an exaggerated card, but on the inside, sometimes we can play that role, especially us feminines, right? Not all feminines, but at times, you know, we can, you know, I'm pretty much not like that ever, but yet at times, yeah, I can be that way, you know, oh no, you know, please help me, you know, that sort of thing. So there's something here where, that's the kind of energy that leads to the darkness, or to it's called the long night moon in this card, the aloneness, or, you know, the depression that hits and stuff like that. It's like feeling helpless, or feeling like you can't, you know, like you need someone else's help in order to break free in some way. And over here we have self-reflection with playing it safe. So there's something here also about like maybe now would be a good time to do a lot of self-reflection. She's making friends with herself and pulling herself out of the mirror. I don't know if you can see that imagery there. And in the mirror, her reflection is like all the way up to the head of water. And water is emotion in like tarot, oracle, that sort of thing. So it's like pulling yourself out of the depths of the heavy waters, keeping you down. You're a fire sign, right? So it's like emotions may be very dominant at the, you know, from now till the end of the year. And with the playing it safe card, there's something here where I feel like you are possibly, now that's more, not the words, but the person is more Leo energy to me, right? It's like that fiery red hair. She's got this nice dress on, but she's barefoot. You know, there's a lot of like freedom aspects that are showing in this card. There's fireworks going off in the background, but yet she's playing it safe. So it's I feel like this is saying it's time to get more into, yeah, wow. And community, sixth chakra, and acceptance is here at the bottom of the deck. Community, sixth chakra, and acceptance. I feel like it's time for you guys to like not play it safe so much. Get out, explore more, do some healthy self-reflection to pull yourself out of the emotional heavy pool, right? And not feel like you need to be rescued in some way. And again, like I Leos don't typically like, you know, have that rescue mentality, like, oh my gosh, I'm so helpless, please send me a man, you know. I'm not going, you know, that route. It's not like that extreme or something, but it's in a sense more of like that, right? Just less than that, because again, you know, you guys typically aren't in that type of energy, but it's something about that. All right, and we can all be there, you know, definitely. So that's where that honesty and self-reflection comes in, because that will just lead to more depression. Because universe typically wants us to figure out, you know, I mean, universe will definitely send us help via other people. And at times that's a great thing. You know, some people can, you know, be, you know, a great help in our lives or lend a helping hand. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. But it's like universe typically wants us, though, to have that self-assuredness within, that like that self-reliance, you know, first, and then that's when things start coming in. So there's something about, like, you know, studying now till the end of the year more about your self-reliance, self-worth, self-value, your you can do it spirit. Also possibly getting involved with a different type of community. Like if your friends and stuff are sort of, you know, not really inspiring, or they just bitch and complain a lot, or everything's negative or something. I mean, maybe it's time to find a new community, or just getting out more, like in the community in some way. All right, that's what I feel is your message. Okay, so let's go to Virgo. All right, Virgos, let's see what your message is now till the end of the year. Now to the end of the year for Virgos, please. Okay, one more round. Let's see what else we get. Anything else? Okay, so I'm going to take a look at these cards right here, because the way I'm seeing it, like they're really sticking out like sideways. It's kind of hard to see, but like that. Okay, so they want to come out, but they're stuck. So we're going to take a look at those and see what those are. Okay. Oh, all right. You guys have deceit underneath the deck. All right. Let's see. We'll look at that. All right. So let's see what the first two cards are that fell out, and then we'll look at those ones that were kind of stuck. Oh, yeah. Discernment. Now till the end of the year is a very important time to use your high discernment, because we have this deceit card at the bottom of the deck, right? Okay. And if you notice in this picture, like the clouds over her eyes, all right. So, and the word discernment. So sometimes, you know, we don't see what we, you know, need to see, you know, kind of thing. So it's like, you also have, oh, new supportive connections. New supportive connections. Interesting. Okay, hold on. Let me see what's stuck here. Ah, wow, your message is super clear. All that glitters and loyal heart is in the reverse. Very intriguing message here. Okay, so all that glitters is not gold. And what you may be considering a loyal heart, you know, maybe not be. Or maybe not be. Yes, yes. I can speak very, very articulately, can't I? All that glitters is not gold, and what you may be viewing as a loyal heart might not be here. So use your discernment in new supportive connections. I'm getting narcissist vibes here, is what I'm getting. I'm getting like somebody who you may meet, or connect with or reconnect with or something like that, that like feels so supportive and feels like, you know, like they just say all the right things. And that's because that's usually the way that type of dynamic works, you know, the narcissist dynamic. They know people well, they know what to say, and it's like they may be very supportive in that way. And then it's like once they have you kind of hooked, you know, to that, then you find out, you know, down the road, whoops, you know, this person was deceitful or something like that. All the glitters isn't gold, you know, that kind of thing. So I would say very heads up, all right, with this reading. Now, please keep in mind too, this is a general reading. So some of you, you know, don't have that paranoia or expectation going in to meeting new people, all right, just because of this, like, don't let that sink in, you know, in that way. Because, you know, it's a general reading. It might not be for everyone. And some of you may, you know, I'm sure, you know, there's people out there that's going to meet someone very awesome, you know, now till the end of the year. That could be an amazing new supportive connection, or, you know, a love interest or a partner, or, you know, something like that. So we don't want to just like remember this tarot reading and be paranoid of everyone we meet or anything like that. It's like, use your discernment though. No clouds over the eyes. If someone's like just way too, you know, most of us at this point in our juncture of life have had some sort of experience with like narcissistic people in our lives or our relationships or something like that. So, you know, heads up, that's all, right? So that's what I am seeing there. All right. So let's go to Libra. Okay, Libra, please. What is the message for Libras out there now till the end of the year? Libras. Libras, now till the end of the year, please. What is their message? Something's wanting to, do you see that? It's like wanting to come out. Okay. Oh, and it's message. Interesting. All right. So message is like wanting to come out, but I had to like kind of coax it out. All right. So that may be a message in itself. It might feel like you need to like coax, you know, yourself to write a message, or coax. It feels like somebody else isn't really messaging you as much as you want. It's like it's stuck. Deep knowing came out. All right. What else for Libra, please? Libra, now till the end of the year. Okay, there we go. Now they're popping. Took a minute. And I think that's kind of like your message. Like, it took a minute, I said, right? And that's kind of like that message. Like, it took a minute, you know, and you might have to like kind of coax it a little bit to come out in some way. You do have caring connections at the bottom of the deck. All right. So let's see. You had a lot of cards fall out here. We also had deep knowing fall out here. And interestingly enough, yeah, you can see it on camera. This card came out in this like kind of bridge, and the card is indecision. So it's sort of like somebody else had like fork in the road. I can't remember what sign that was, but it reminds me of that card, fork in the road, or, you know, it's like just being at this like sort of crossroads, like which direction do I go? But ultimately it's like stuck, you know, stuck in this indecision. And it could have something to do with like waiting on a message or needing to send a message or something like that. And really listening to your intuition. Okay, really listening to your deep knowing about a situation. All right, some of you may receive a message and then that makes you a little bit like indecisive. Like, okay, should I go this way? Should I not? Could be a relationship, could be anything, right? And I feel like this is saying like, well, always go to this, your deep knowing. What do you really feel? If you're honest with yourself, you know, about this situation. Okay, so let's see. You have the World, fourth chakra, adjacent possibilities, gratitude, the vast universe, and fragment. Let me clarify fragment. Yeah, I feel like you guys have a need to find a new direction. Not necessarily like you have to shake up your life and go do something big and bold and new and stuff like maybe, for some of you, but it's more about like I feel like it's a good time for you guys to really start finding your place in the world. And I don't mean that in like a big pressure thing, like, oh, you have to find your destiny, or your purpose, not in that way, but like for you, just for you at this time. Let me check what fragment is. Why is fragment here with the vast universe? Okay, Six of Cups. Okay, yeah, there could be someone who like emotionally fragments your energy. This could be like a soul tie here. Six of Cups can oftentimes be like kind of a karmic relationship. It can be an ex. It can also represent like our children or a good friend. It's a nostalgia card. So it's usually someone that we have fond memories with, regardless of whatever, anxieties or things may be going on or broken hearts with the situation. But it's usually someone that we have some sort of fondness for or nostalgic tie to. Okay. And that is keeping your energy fragmented. All right, because that's what I was clarifying is that fragment card, from really seeing the more vast universe of a situation, the more possibilities that could be out there in the world. So there may be some emotional tie that is keeping you like fragmented emotionally and mentally from being able to see what the adjacent possibilities are in order to make a decision. So adjacent possibilities is a really cool card. There's like all these different doors and they're all in like really weird places. Like there's even like a door on the floor, right? So there's one like way up high, there's one way down low, there's one at the end of the hall, and they all have like lights coming out of them and stuff. So it's saying like, sometimes, we have to think a little outside the box or think of like other possibilities, like, well, how could things look, if I did this or did that. I feel like it's a really good time to not overthink that, but just to accept that. All right. So in other words, don't start overthinking, oh, well, yeah, that's true. There are a lot of adjacent possibilities, and then get hung up in thinking about what all of those could be. Instead, it's more like just accepting that, like, yeah, you know what, there are a lot of other adjacent possibilities that I could be doing, right? So just accept that, because that is true. It's like there's a lot, like they say, a lot of different timelines that we can stumble into, right? So it's like, so just accept that. Yes, there are adjacent possibilities. And now focus more on your deep knowing. And really try to, rather than like waiting for a message or waiting for, a tarot reading to tell you this, or a pick a card to tell you that, or waiting for someone to give you the validation to do this, or, stuff like that. It's like, just know, tap into that deep knowing of yourself. Ask yourself. I've done that before, go into deep silence, meditation, prayer mode, whatever, and simply ask, to get reacquainted with your soul's mission or your soul's purpose, things like that. Because it's like there's something that's fragmenting your energy that is possibly, you guys could be like really down on the world right now also. But it's actually, they say like our inner world is our our outer world reflects our inner world, whatever, vice versa, right? And that's kind of what I'm seeing. Like, this situation is personal to you, but it's disappointing. This situation is more than what's reflected in the world. And it's like, it needs more love. It needs more forgiveness. So that's what I'm seeing. Then I feel like those adjacent possibilities can open up. And we also have this card here of gratitude. So it's like making sure that we are expressing gratitude, especially too, it's hard to see in this card, but it's kind of an older, like an elderly hand. Okay. So it could, also mean, making sure elderlies in our life or older people that are perhaps older than ourselves, that you know, make that connection with them, let them know, you know, they're loved, or try to give forgiveness if it's a forgiveness thing, you know, stuff like that. So I feel like yours is kind of wrapping up like these kind of loose emotional ties so that you can like have that deep knowing and get back onto your soul mission, soul's purpose. All right. And again, when I say soul's mission and soul's purpose, I don't mean it in that grandiose way, like, oh my God, you got to find your purpose, you know, more of like sometimes our purpose or our soul's mission is just to do this thing, you know, this type of work, you know, like recognize these things like, yeah, I have, you know, this has been holding me back, you know, and I need to, you know, stop being anxious or holding on to that. It's affecting, you know, it's fragmenting my energy, and it's taking me away from seeing the vast universe of possibilities and things that could be happening, because I'm so focused on this one little, or not one little, but, you know, one big situation in my life, you know, that sort of thing. Okay. Now remember too, these aren't like necessarily predictions now till the end of the year. These are messages needed for now till the end of the year. Okay. All right. So let's go to Scorpio. Let's see what's going on. Scorpio, please. Scorpio, now till the end of the year. Scorpio. What is the message for Scorpio? Keeping in mind, these are not necessarily predictions now till the end of the year. These are messages for you now till the end of the year. Scorpios, please. What is the message for the Scorpios watching? Some stuck energy in here. Let's see if we can kind of free that up. Okay, Scorpio. All right. So you have attraction, supermoon attraction at the bottom of the deck. All right. Well, would it be any other kind of attraction? Oh, hell yeah, it's a supermoon. It's not just a, you know, quarter moon or something. It's a supermoon. Ooh, look at this, Scorpio. Beautiful. New life with goddess of the moon. Beautiful. So, and the new life card, it's like she's like busting out of like an egg, right? And it's not like she's like a little baby chick, you know, she's a full grown adult. So some of you may be feeling like that metaphor of like being born again in a sense of just opening up to a new life. You have this goddess of the moon card, which is absolutely all about like your psychic connection, your more like goddess energy, regardless if you're masculine, feminine, whatever, you know, it doesn't matter. It's like that. There's a strong like feminine energy here of like that kind of like high priestess vibe, you know, kind of thing. So, all right, let's see what else is going on. Oh my God, Scorpio, you have the sun. So again, we have this like sort of like, you know, goddess imagery here, you know, coming out of the water with the lotus flowers, the sun. It's a 1, which also could indicate new life, you know, type of energy. Okay, and then what else do we have over here? We have, wow, blossoming and honesty. So the blossoming card, it's such a pretty card. She has like, it's hard to see the detail on this card, but she's got like this beautiful dress made of florals and flowers and things like that. And she's playing a violin. So I always look at this card as like some sort of creativity or like beauty, you know. It doesn't have to be creativity like art or, you know, something like that. I mean, it could be anything, music, you know, like I said, that's on here. It can be anything. So it's like something that is truly like a talent or something that you are skilled at is blossoming here. And you have this honesty. So that's really interesting. Okay, with the candle flame. What was at the bottom of, oh, supermoon attraction. Okay. So the honesty card, let's see. I think it's more of a message of saying like when you're honest with what your true passion, talents, things like that are, that's when you will truly blossom. All right. And you have like really just nice cards. I feel like it's going to be very, very healing energy around you now till the end of the year. And not like that kind of healing energy because it's like you're down and you're drained and it's like you need healing energy. Like I feel it's like that beautiful healing energy that is around because you are like feeling in that mode, like you are feeling healed or ready to get honest about things, ready to blossom your talents, you know, things like that. I feel like there's a lot of support around you, yet it's not because, like I said, like you need it. It's like there's a lot of support around you, but it's like it's you that's raising yourself up. Because I mean, look at all of these like independent type energies in this card, right? It's like we have this strong kind of feminine high priestess vibe. We have this strong feminine energy of, you know, coming out of this, you know, pool with, you know, cleansing pool with lotus flowers. We have this one breaking out of an eggshell, you know, and then we have this one, you know, like demonstrating their blossoming talent. Okay. And this is the only card that doesn't have like a feminine presence on it. And it's this. All right. That flame, that honesty flame, which Scorpio, you're noted for, you know, being super honest, you know, when with yourself, with others, you know, things like that. So wonderful, wonderful energy for you, Scorpio. Okay, so let's go to Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius, let's see what's going on for you. Okay. All right, Sagittarius, please. Messages from now till the end of the year for Sagittarius. Sagittarius, please. What's going on? What do they need to know? Okay. Sagittarius, please. Wow. Okay, interesting. I like what's showing so far. All right. Ooh, you have serendipity at the bottom of the deck. I always like this card. It's like she's being lifted up with like a 4-leaf clover, right? So it's like as you allow yourself to be lifted up, then you have good luck, right? More luck and stuff like that. All right, so let's see what we got. So I see this power card staring right at me. It's such a bold card. There's another card underneath. We'll take a look and see what that is. But look at that. That's what I was seeing on the table, like just bam. All right. Oh, wow. All right. Power of prayer. Isn't that interesting? Because this card, because I couldn't, oh my God. And look what's underneath that. Higher power. Okay, that's underneath the deck, under this serendipity card, and door to romance also there. Door to romance. I like the way I said that. Okay, all right. But what I'm sorry, I always get ahead of myself with these cards. So let me back up here a bit. So you have this like power of prayer, and where I was going with that is we were talking about like being like lifted up, right? Then you have good luck. So when we think of prayer, we often think of up energy, right? And you also have a higher power showing up here too. So, I mean, I'd say now till the end of the year, and that makes sense because you're in your like kind of birthday season, your solar season. So now would be the time to connect for sure with prayers of power to go after what you are desiring, or, you know, in a healthy, positive way, you know, the power of prayer. So I'll hold this card up in case you guys want to snapshot it and read. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, you know, it's the power of prayer, but I'll hold it up there real close so that you can snapshot it and read it if you care to read all the little details. Okay, so let's see, what else do we have? Oh my gosh, deserving. And it's a consciousness card. This particular, I use different oracle cards. This particular deck has like these little labels at the top, and this one is labeled as a consciousness card. So that is the consciousness energy to get into, is deserving. And you have that with this pile that fell out, which is surrender. And the surrender card here, we have sort of like almost kind of looks like a Tibetan monk vibe, right? So again, this surrender, and look, and where's that monk looking? Upward. All right, so there's a strong message here of, and even in the power of prayer, look at that, you know, the head tilted upward, being lifted up, upward, higher power. And what's it showing? The sky, you know, upward, right? So there's definitely a message here of switching your consciousness. Now is the time to get into this deserving consciousness. Not in the way of like, I deserve this and why haven't I got that? And, you know, life shorts me of everything, you know, not, you know, I deserve better, you know, not that kind, you know, the deserving consciousness of like, you know, you are a human being on this planet, And it's like, so thus, you know, just like all of nature somehow finds a way to be cared for, right? And I'm talking like all of nature, you know, like the squirrels just find nuts, you know, the flowers, you know, are like little seeds deep into like dark packed soil and still manage, you know, to reach up and find, you know, look up, right, reach up and find the sun and then bloom into these beautiful little fragrant things that they are, right? So it's like that type, it's like you deserve life, you deserve the quality of life, you know, getting into that type of energy, because sometimes deserving can be misconstrued in a selfish way, like where we got to watch that it's not victim mentality kind of way, right? So like when, you know, like I catch myself even, you know, at times, you know, with that kind of stuff, you know, like, well, you know, I do this and I do that and I deserve better than this, you know, that kind of stuff. It's like, no, not that type, right? So instead, it's like you have with deserving, you have this surrender, right? So surrendering to like a higher power. All right. And sometimes, you know, I remember Paramahansa Yogananda, I won't be able to say it verbatim, but the idea of what he said was sometimes we have to be like the naughty baby that cries for the mama, you know, to you know, come to attend to their needs. But he was saying it in the form of, you know, the cosmic mother, you know, and us as the child, right? Sometimes we have to be a naughty baby and cry, you know, but you know, like the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? Like that is what I feel like he was saying in that way. So it's like, yeah, surrender this energy and like pray, you know, power of prayer right there for power, so that you can be lifted up into higher, deserving energies in your life. All right. And especially too, like if you guys are looking for like, you know, a good soulmate partner, something like that, you have Door to Romance under there as well. Okay. So nice message for you, Sagittarius. Short and sweet, but beautiful, to the point. Oh, I keep putting the cards back and they need to go over here. All right. We are on to Capricorn. Yeah, there we go. All right. Okay, Capricorn, messages for you now till the end of the year. What do we have for Capricorn, friends, please? Oh, okay. Capricorn, now till the end of the year. You'll be in your birthday season, Capricorn, so should be interesting. What do we have for Capricorn? Messages for Capricorn. All right, one more round through, and if that's all we get, then that's all we get. Let's see. Okay, that's what we got. Let's see. So at the bottom of the deck, you have courage to ask for and accept help. I'll hold it up so that you guys can snapshot it if you want to read all of this stuff. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory there from the title, but let me get it close. There you go. So you can snapshot that and read all the little details if you care to. All right. So that's at the bottom of the deck. Have courage to ask for and accept help. Okay. All right. So you didn't get very many cards. Let's see what you got. You got, okay. Yeah, we'll probably do some tarot on this because I feel like this is just sort of a, sort of could relate to anybody kind of message. All right. You have rest and rejuvenation. So that is definitely like kind of getting into that meditative state. You know, resting your heart rate and meditating, that sort of thing, maybe a little yoga. You also, yeah, you have 7th chakra. So I would say this is an excellent time for you because these are very, they're nondescript, like they could fit any zodiac sign, in other words. So it's not anything that's like, oh, wow, that reader's spot on, you know, because it's like, it's nothing that's like unique. All right. But it's still a very strong message. Okay. So with rest and rejuvenation in this sort of lotus pose, and then we have the 7th chakra, which is like that, like that's where you're reaching when you were in this meditative pose, if we're diligent and we keep doing things right, where all the wisdom can come through, right? And we can connect with that more magical, you know, type of intuition. And then you have this card that's come out of action. All right. So it's more about getting in touch with that spiritual state first, and then being like flexible in your actions and taking actions with things. Okay, so that's pretty cool. We'll see though, against, you know, I'll get you a little bit more, but the thing is, don't underestimate this message either, because even though, like I said, it's a one size fits all message, because I feel like this message could be valid for any human being out there, but still don't discount that as like, oh yeah, let's get to the good stuff. I want to see the other stuff, you know, because this is your message, and it's a beautiful message, because when we can get in touch with that wisdom, you know, that more mystical, you know, side of things, then that's the best thing to do before we take action. Okay, but let's see. Let's get a little bit more for you. All right, Capricorn. Okay, Knight of Swords. Yeah, that's like being too pressurized. Like it's kind of a little bit putting the cart before the horse sort of thing. Okay. Oh, and you got a bunch of other cards here, so let's see what those are. Okay. You do have the Four of Wands underneath the deck, which is a nice card of good comfort zone, you know, sharing time with someone, something like that, celebrating, things like that. Oh yeah, you do have an ace here for sure. Yeah, definitely there's like this, there's a lot of wanting to take action. That's what I see in your reading. I mean, the first two cards out are the Knight of Swords and then followed by the King of Wands. Both are action-taking cards. One's fiery and one is a little bit more like jumping in before, you know, really like thinking things through. That's okay. I mean, that thing is, I think that's fine, but it's also though asking you to not just do that. All right. So in other words, not just take massive action towards something. Fine. You know, I do think action is good for you because there's a new start, a new beginning, and there is a karma here that needs to be decided about. But it's that balance though of, yes, sometimes it's great to impulsively do something and take action and all those sorts of things, but it's even better when we combine that with also taking our time, making sure to, you know, so take action during the day if you need to, but like in the evening or at night, take that time for that rest and rejuvenation, getting in touch with your seventh chakra, getting in touch with your crown chakra, your wisdom, and see what messages are coming forth for you to allow you to take more flexible actions. Because you definitely, you know, have a lot of action cards here. It could be moving or, you know, like a new house or, you know, something like that for you, or moving in with someone for some of you with the Four of Wands. It can indicate that. But there's definitely like this movement to your reading. And there is some sort of new grounded opportunity that is showing itself here. And I think that is why there's like the excitement of moving towards something, right? But then there's also, you know, this energy here of realizing, you know, the karmic cycle that you are ending. The World card indicates that you will most likely end some sort, like make some sort of decision to end a karmic cycle. So I do feel like you have a significant ending of some sort. World card almost always indicates that, right? And then like new beginnings on the horizon. You've completed the circle of something, and especially with the Judgment card here, which is the karma card. So I do feel like you guys are completing a cycle of some sort of karmic situation. Many of you are making a decision to move. I also see that. Again, it could be with someone or, you know, or with your person, you know, whatever, you know, but it's definitely something about movement for you. And there is action here, but again, it's like, it's urged that it's like, that's fine. Combine that action, that karmic wrapping up of something so that you can have this new start. But remember, you know, absolutely the deeper time for yourself to connect with yourself and your inner wisdom before just impulsively doing everything. All right. It's like connect with this too. Okay. All right. So it looks like exciting change on the horizon for you, Capricorn, like you're making some kind of moves, you know, in a positive way. It could be for some of you relationships, others of you new job, moving to a new job, something like that. All right. Okay, so let's see. That's Capricorn. We are on to Aquarius. Okay. Okay, Aquarius, let's see what the message is for you. Messages for now till the end of the year, please, for Aquarius. Okay, Garden in the Gate fell out right away. Kind of like a Eight of Cups card to me, but we'll look at it in a moment. Okay, what else for Aquarius, please? Getting like, yeah, no, I'm not. Okay, never mind. Thought I was. All right. Whoa, all right. So we have attracting, not chasing at the bottom of the deck. Attracting, not chasing. I'll hold that up in case you want to read all the details. You can snapshot it. Hold on, let me get it straight and close. Okay. It's basically self-explanatory, you know. No chasing, you know, attract. Yeah, because I see somebody here. All right, let's see, because you have the Hot Moon Extremes card. All right, with the, you know, the romance novel cover here going on. All right. So you have the Garden in the Gate, Hot Moon Extremes. Let's see what else we have. Door to Romance, but it's kind of like it's in the reverse. I don't necessarily always read oracle cards in reverse because they kind of just fly out. It depends. Like sometimes I do, sometimes if it's obvious to me that it's in reverse. This one doesn't. It's like kind of, but not really. Oh, sovereignty and commitment. Interesting. Okay, so you have sovereignty and then commitment here. Interesting. I think you guys are kind of in typical Aquarian fashion here. I feel like there is someone who is interested or is going to show up that is interested in you, but then there's that inner dilemma of is this, because there's a strong chemical attraction with the Hot Moon Extremes, right? So there's definitely some sort of passionate connection here. But then there's this like part of you that's like in this comfort zone, and it's like, well, is this gonna, F with my day-to-day things that I like to do, my freedom, the stuff like that. So I feel like there's a part of you that's sort of torn with this. So I'm going to pull some advice cards, but I think this is good. Okay. So attracting, not chasing, and you have no more, no more complaining is also here. Let me hold that one up too, in case you want to snapshot that to read. Because that's a good one. The no more complaining. So, okay, here's the thing. I feel like you guys are going to meet or have met. Maybe you've already met this person for some of you, but if you haven't yet, you may meet someone now till the end of the year that is like a good one. All right, like they're a good catch. Okay, whatever, they don't have to be a masculine. It can be whatever gender you're into. So it's like I feel like they are into you. It's like I do feel like they are serious about a relationship. I don't think they're like a player or a flighty person or anything like that. I think that there is this chemistry with them, but there may be something where like you may look for problems with this person. Like, well, they're always like very physically this and physically that is good, but there's no romance. So like hence that no more complaining card, right? Or like looking for things wrong because it's like in a sense you want to stay in this like bubble, this comfort zone. All right, that's the Garden in the Gate. It's like she's nice and cozy behind that garden, with that garden and her gate. She doesn't really want to go out there and into the the rest of the world or something like that. And it's like, but this is saying, you know what? I feel like this person will, like, they're willing to sign on the dotted line, even knowing that you are this independent, sovereign type person. So it's like, don't underestimate like your partner or this person that's coming in. You may feel like finding things wrong, because it may threaten like your comfort zone in some way. So I would suggest, in fact, I don't even think we need anything else on this. I would suggest with this they may speak in a different love language than you as far as romance, but it's like, but this person's into you. All right. That's what I see. So, and it's like, I do feel they have the capacity to give you the freedom and in honor. Like, I think that's what they like about you, is like that you do have like your own opinions or your own things that you do, or, you know, something along those lines. So don't be afraid of that. I would also say, though, with attracting, not chasing, for some of you, all right, this could be more of a situation of a reading where it's like you are highly attracted to someone, and you highly, you know, are wanting to like attract this person. But what's going to, you know, so this is a separate situation. So if that's more you, what's going to truly attract this person is showing them your sovereignty, showing them your self-reliance, your value, and your worth. Not trying to please them or be overly romantic or overly people-pleasing. I feel like that would be for the people who are like not Aquarius sun that are watching this reading. So maybe you're Aquarius rising or Aquarius moon or Aquarius Venus, or, you know, something like that, right? Some of you may be chasing rather than attracting this person. And the way you will attract this person is by showing them your sovereignty, that you know, you have your own things. You can, you know, you're not needing them to complete your life, and, you know, things like that. All right. That's what I am seeing there. All right. So we're on to Pisces. Okay, Pisces, let's see what the message is for you now till the end of the year. Okay. All right, Pisces. Let me straighten those cards up. They're kind of bugging me. There we go. Okay. What do we have for Pisces now till the end of the year, please? What is their message? So it's not necessarily prediction energy. We're just looking for your message for now till the end of the year. What is Pisces' message? What do they need to know now till the end of the year? Pisces. Almost. Okay. Ooh. Healer of the Ages coming out. Is that good? All right. One more pass through, I heard. Okay. All right, we're good. All right. Okay. Oh, somebody else had this at the bottom of the deck. I can't remember. It was recent. So it was like Sag or Capricorn or something like that. Have courage to ask for and accept help. Have courage to ask for and accept help. Okay. All right. So let's see. What do we got? So yeah, Healer of the Ages came out. You only had a few cards come out that were face up, so that is one of them. Kind of like a Jesus type, you know, figure here showing up. All right. Let's see. So let's see. What do we have for Pisces? Oh, wow. Okay. All right. I do feel like you guys have some of you may be starting some sort of healing, like journey, business, something along those lines. Hold on one second. I got a little notification I need to... Nope. Sorry about my finger in the screen there, but it was distracting for me. Okay. That's funny because you have block out distractions here. Yeah. See, interesting. Okay. Yeah. I feel like some of you may be starting, and this is very specific, so it's not going to, you know, we'll talk about something else if it's not this, but it's like for some of you may be starting some sort of, or thinking about starting some sort of healing business of some sort. Yeah, it could be like tarot or you know, Reiki or, you know, something like that, right? And it's like, yeah, I think that could be really good for you. I think you can have, because you have success here. All right, success is showing. But the thing is, you have like this block out distractions card too, which we will read. In fact, let's go ahead and read that now. It says, your life purpose and other priorities need your undivided attention. So it is time for you to take charge of your schedule and working environment by turning off electronics and avoiding anyone or anything that distracts you from what is important. You already know what these distractions are, and you have the power to responsibly block them out. So that's such a great card because, you know, a lot of times I think people do have like really good, I can see it in myself at times, you know, for sure too. I think any human being really can relate to this card, where it's like we have like certain goals or like certain things that we want to accomplish, paperwork that maybe has been stacking up for a little while, you know, things like that, things to attend to, you know, our responsibilities, our priorities, right? But it's like, it's a lot easier sometimes to just like turn on the TV or scroll through YouTube or, you know, do all these other things, you know, to like not do those things that we need to do. So this is saying like, hey, you know, it's your duty and your responsibility, you know, to start focusing on these things. And you already know what your distractions are. So it's like you are the only person that has the power to responsibly block them out. All right, is what's going on here. Because with this success card, I read the cards in the piles that they fall out in. It came along with this realization and attraction card and then the success card. So like in this order. So the realization card is this person like standing at the doorway. It's hard to see her, but she's standing right here. And it's like that doorway is shaped like a gigantic key, right? Keyhole. So it's like, I love this card because it's basically saying like, you are the key, which is exactly what this card was saying. Like, you are the one who has the responsibility to, you know, block these things out, focus on your priorities, right? You are the key. There's no like missing key to life that you have to go out and find and all those things. I mean, in a way there's things, but it's like, but we are the key. All right. We are the ones that need to have the realization of that so that we can walk through the doorway. So this is saying like, you don't need any kind of key to open that door. All right. That door is ginormous. All you got to do is walk through. So it's like knowing that. And then you have this attraction with success showing here. And the attraction card, it's you know, like it's about like a law of attraction, right? So it's like using that energy of realizing you are the key. You are the one attracting your congratulations scroll here of success. And then you have right in the middle here, you have a change in the wind card. Okay. So it's like the change in the wind card is like facing towards this stuff, saying that's the change that needs to happen. And then, you know, it's like the healer of the ages. Oh, you know, the skies part and, you know, bestowed upon you, you know, is what you're looking for. Right. So that's what I feel like your reading is more about. And it's like asking you to kind of move more towards like acknowledging like the spiritual, you know, path, have courage to ask for and accept help, right? And I feel like, you know, ask and ye shall receive, right? There's that help, open arms, open hands, that energy pouring forth toward you. So it's your change in the wind is when you realize that you are attracting your success. And when you block out the distractions and focus on your priorities, that's when things happen. That's when you know, the Jesus-y, you know, card comes out like to help you. Okay. So that's all I'm going to say on that one. I was going to go a couple different routes with this, but that's what I see as being the overall clear message for you, Pisces. So if you want change to occur, you know, a zebra doesn't change its stripes, you know, and it's like that's it can, all right, but it's like it's the only way that we can change is by having these realizations, all right, that, you know, we don't need any specific key. We don't need a particular person to change our lives. We don't need this. We don't need, you know, we just need to realize that there is no, like, you're the key. You know, there's no gigantic mystery key hanging around somewhere that's going to open the doors for us, okay? We do that by attracting success into our lives. Okay, all right, that's what I have for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed your readings, and thank you so much. All right, bye.